What did my friend say in class that made our teacher roll on the floor laughing and then get him arrested? Daniel had always totally been the class clown. He always got in trouble for doing the silliest things, like putting whoopee cushions on the seats before other kids could sit down, and he always seemed to get away with it. Some kids got mad at him for it, especially when he did his prank call rounds, but most just laughed in his face. Until one day, he didn't get away with a practical joke gone wrong. One day, he was totally in rare form and pulling classic pranks on even the teachers, including Mr. Draper. Before he had the chance to plan this one prank, he totally sprung it on his friend Ryan while we were all taking an exam. Our teacher said he'd be right back and told us not to cheat while he left the room and took his short little coffee break. As soon as he came back into the room, Daniel said with the most serious yet lively expression on his face, "Stop cheating, Ryan," and slapped him on the arm as if putting on a theatrical performance. We all half expected our teacher to either send him to the principal, kick him out completely, or God knows what else. But all he did was chuckle loudly, lean his head back while grabbing his coffee mug and say, "Cheating?" as if in disbelief. But Ryan was clearly upset. "I wasn't cheating," he shouted back at Daniel. Uh-oh. It looked like things were quickly taking a turn for the worse. "Now that's enough, boys," the teacher scolded, trying to break the tension up between them. "There will be no cheating here today," the teacher ordered. "But if you'd like to go visit Principal Matthews' office, you're more than welcome," he said softly but sternly. "Sure," Daniel said with excitement in his voice that I wasn't sure it was faked or not. He was just so good at putting on acts that no one knew when he was ever serious or not. But much to my surprise, he actually did walk out of the classroom, quickly making his way toward the principal's office. Right after that, Ryan left, and then, one by one, student after student made their way out of the classroom. Until before I knew it, the only ones left in the room were Mr. Draper and myself. I wasn't sure who was more confused, myself or him, until a loud commotion reached our ears. It was Daniel's parents, followed by Daniel. "Daniel, what happened?" I whispered, hoping I wasn't disrupting anything important between him and his parents. But student after student trickled into the classroom right after him. "What's going on?" I said, shaking my head in confusion. "He's under arrest!" Daniel's father shouted with the cops trickling in right behind him. I couldn't believe it. "What did he do to get him arrested?" I shouted at the cops, hoping they'd hear me. "Excuse me, young sir, but we need you to clear the room," the cops said to me, quickly handcuffing Mr. Draper without further explanation. But he was our best teacher, so he had done nothing wrong in my eyes. I waited until they were totally out of my line of vision, following behind them. By the time I caught up with them, they were already at the police station. Apparently, he had gotten into major trouble for things like leaving students unattended and not meeting with parents for their parent/teacher conferences. But the biggest scandal and shock of all was that Daniel had chosen to turn him in. "Daniel, what's gotten into you?" I asked. "I gave him a call as soon as I left the police station. I just had to do it to protect myself," Daniel whispered. "But you betrayed him," I cried, spitting in his face. "Well, the only reason I betrayed him was because I wanted to make a practical joke on him," he said with a smirk. And that's when everyone in class came out and started throwing eggs at Daniel. Voices cried, "Daniel, you suck!" "Daniel, how could you betray such a good teacher? He wasn't even trying to do anything bad to us." That's when the police came out to have a little chat with Daniel. "Son, we're going to have to take you in for questioning. It appears as if your teacher hasn't truly done anything wrong," the cop replied, glaring at Daniel as if he thought he had intentionally sabotaged his own teacher. "But we are going to hold you here at the station until you can find someone to pick you up. We take false police reports very seriously." The entire class was in an uproar. Daniel had never been caught, and at long last, the class clown was actually paying for it.